What is going on, guys? Brandon over here at Geek Talk. We are back with another movie review. Now, this is going to be a tough one. Oh, excuse me. It's a movie review for Destroy All Neighbors. Now, this is going to be a tough one to get past the minute marker because I really don't know what I just watched. This film it is out there. You know, and there's a theme out there with films nowadays that just want to be weird to be weird. And a lot of you guys like that. I really can't get onto it. It's not my cup of tea. But stuff like Saltburn, Midsummer, Infinity Pool, just strange films that I just can't really get into. And I don't want to classify this film as that, but it's so weird that it's dumb. But you're going to find yourself being entertained throughout the whole thing because it's so out there. It's such an obnoxious film. And it's a trip, man. It is an absolute trip. So we're following this guy. I don't want to call him a failed musician, but he's struggling to film and finish this album that he's worked on for the past 3 years. You know, he's living in this rundown apartment with his girlfriend, and he gets a new neighbor. We're past a minute, and this fucking guy, dude, I don't want to be rude, but he's ugly. He almost seems supernatural at times. I don't even know if he's human. But we get our first glimpse of this new neighbor when he's moving in his couch and he's being obnoxious. He's grunting. He's roaring. He's making this thing go all over the place. And we turn back and we're like, "Whoa, my God, that's my new neighbor." And he runs into his house frightened because I'd be shitting my pants too because this guy is just menacing looking. He's not normal. So the obnoxious behavior continues, playing loud music, making weird noises, banging on the wall, and it's driving this guy nuts. He's losing his mind. He hates conflict. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know if he needs to call the cops or bang on the wall, and we get a funny little scene that he eventually does bang on the wall because he just had enough, and he just taps it, and he jumps back. And we just hear this neighbor fee-fi foaming over, and he's got little people on his door, and he's like, "What the hell's going on?" And this ugly mofo just hawks the biggest loot you'll ever see. And he doesn't know what to do, so he ends up calling the cops. The neighbor comes over, he's getting fooled, blah, 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 blah. The cops don't believe him, yada, yada, yada. And we get our first experience with Vlad. I think his name's Vlad. I'm going to call him Vlad for the sake of this video. But just a strange dude, man. Just a strange dude. Anyways, it continues. This guy's losing his mind. He eventually gets hyped up enough. You know, he's getting punked at work. He's getting punked at home. He's getting punked by the hobo. He just doesn't know what to do. So he just finally breaks. And he goes over there to confront Vlad. He's getting all pumped. He's getting all ready to go. And he just walks in. And we get our second experience with Vlad, and this guy is weird, man. He's pumping that iron to some dubstep with techno music going. He's probably higher than a kite, drinking beer. And it's just a very funny interaction, and an accidental death happens. He falls back over on his bench bar, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a workouter person. I don't know what the term is for it. I think it's a bench bar. I don't know. Falls back on it, gets impaled, then he knocks his own head off on one of the cinder blocks he was lifting, and it just goes wild from there. And his corpse starts talking. This is the moment where our main protagonist loses his fucking mind and starts going on a murdering spree. Kills his neighbor. Who else does he kill? He kills the hobo. He does all this stuff, and all these things are talking to him. His landlord, his land tenant, or whatever you want to call it, she dies from a previous thing that he taught him how to He taught her how to do, working on a breaker. She dies, she gets fried. So we got these 4 ghost spirits. I don't know what the hell. They're in his head the whole time. And it boils down to him trying to get rid of these bodies, but ends up, I don't even know. They don't seem real. But when they go into, dude, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place with this. I am all over the place with this for you. He befriends these guys, these girls. And he goes over to the studio to finish his album because they get talked into it. They start bonding on the same music, shitty rock. I don't know prog, whatever the hell they called it. They start bonding. Vlad, the hobo. Hobo ends up being his idol for this prog band. It's so out there. His neighbor comes over when they're having this little get together. His neighbor starts throwing shit, messing with his vinyls. He stabs him 30 times. And we're seeing this guy slowly melt and deteriorate. I don't even know. Lose his fucking mind to where he becomes a mass serial killer kind of thing. I don't know. But he doesn't seem like a bad guy. He's just got a few screws loose. He's just at his breaking point. He is snapped. He is mentally fucked. I don't know how to else explain this, man. Yes, so his land tenant gets fried because she sticks a screwdriver into a breaker because yada, yada, yada. She bugs him about being the handyman. And they end up going to his studio. where he was previously fired for. And once again, I apologize. I am all over the place because this movie, I don't know. He goes there, and this is where I get a little confused because I thought it was just all in his head. You know, unless this is a supernatural movie where Vlad's bodies, he's completely ripped apart, cut up, and I just don't know anymore. They go over there, they start attacking his ex-boss and this musician, and he's holding up the police. But anyways, he gets arrested for murder, and he finished his album. He finished his album after the 3 years, and this might have been the worst video I've ever made, but this might be the worst dumb fucking movie that I've enjoyed the most in my whole entire life. So it's kind of perfect. An obnoxious review, and it makes no sense. I don't know what the hell's going on. Kind of like the movie. I mean, the movie had its. I think overall it's a story about a guy that's being drove to his breaking point, and he snaps, and he accidentally goes on a murder spree and becomes a little bit of a mass serial killer. I sum it up, and he finishes his prog album, his shitty rock album, and he gets notoriety for it, and he goes to prison, and somehow him and his girlfriend have reconnected, because I forgot to mention that they had some quarrels and they broke up midway through the movie. Yeah, that is Destroy All Neighbors. And he does that. Yeah. I do. Oh my God, this movie, man. Out there. So out there. And you know what? I don't know what it was scored. I think it had a pretty solid score on Rotten Tomatoes. That's why I watched it. And the whole time coming home, I was like, did it deserve this? But now I kind of think it did, because I had a lot of fun watching this film. I did. It was so weird. It was dumb, but I had a grand old time watching it. Well, that is all I got for you guys. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. I forgot to mention this is a Shudder original, so if you have Shudder, go check it out. If you're interested in future content, please subscribe. Deuces.